What's poppin', homies? It's your favorite homegirl, Gossip Girl, and today we're going to talk about Bunnie XO and Wade Wilson. Now, Bunnie XO, she has a podcast called Dumb Blonde, right? And, she was on there with her host, JD Delay, and they was talking about Wade Wilson, they was giving background and all of that. So E! News, wrote an article about it. Now, I'm going to say this about E! News. E! News, I hope that when you printed this article or put it out online, that you are quick to also share the conversation that she had with Diane Ruiz's children. The victim that was murdered by Wade Wilson, but her children were there talking to Bunnie XO. So I hope you will be so quick to post that as well, or make an article about it as well. Okay? But anyway, let's talk about what they wrote here in this article. Jelly Roll's wife, Bunnie XO, says convicted murderer Wade Wilson gave out her phone number to random people. And we heard that in the calls. And she also recorded his phone calls. Months after Jelly Roll's wife, Bunnie XO, faced backlash for wanting to interview convicted killer Wade Wilson, she said he gave out her phone number after a call with him. Bunnie XO is dealing with an unexpected safety concern. The podcaster recently alleged that after speaking with convicted murderer Wade Wilson for a potential docuseries about his crimes, he started giving out her phone number to at least 5 individuals. Wade took it upon himself after the first phone call that we had to start giving my number out to random women, Bunnie said. Now, Bunnie, who was married to country superstar Jelly Roll, explained on the October 21st episode of her Dumb Blonde podcast, "I was getting so frustrated with all the drama." Because, Wade Wilson has a following. He has a huge following. He has women that are following him from different countries. If you did not hear the recent phone call that was dropped on Phone Calls from Prison's page, it's the same story, just with different women in different countries, the same old line over and over and over. It's just ridiculous, okay? And I don't understand why these women are so in love with Wade Wilson. Wait, what's going on? What is it that I'm missing? What is it that I'm not seeing? Maybe it's a sickness that they have, that they are so in love with a killer. Well, anyway, let's continue. She said this prompted her to hop on the phone with him again for a recorded conversation, which she played on the episode. "You can stop getting me in trouble online," she told him. "That would be great." Wade, who was sentenced to death in August for the 2019 murders of Christine Melton, who was 35 at the time, and Diane Ruiz, who was 43 at the time, admitted in the recording that he shared her information. Though he added that he has since ceased the action. "I stopped giving out your number," Wade, who was 30 years old, said. "I only did that to like 2 women. Well, 2 people, but we know they were women." Now, however, Bunnie told listeners that it was at least 5. Well, we know he lies a lot anyway. E! News has reached out to Wade's attorney along with reps for Bunnie for comment and has not heard anything back. And I don't think you will, because she has moved on from that. So now she, I think the next episode, because it's part 2, it's 2 parts. So I think the next episode will be Diane Ruiz's kids on there, and she's going to be talking to them. And I think that's the story that you should be sharing. But anyway, now during the tense back and forth, right? Wade and Bunnie, they got into it a little bit. He was upset with her because, he said that she made him look like he was a bad person to his fans, okay? Whom he alleged sent him screenshots of the interactions. So his girlfriend at the time, we all know who that is, Jessie, a.k.a. Marie, a.k.a. Feather. She was the one that sent Wade the screenshots because Bunnie had sent them to her so that they could stop. She was like, well, tell him to stop having these people reach out to me. This is what's going on. This is a red flag. So, of course, his little girlfriend, Feather, sent him everything and told him what was going on. And then he was upset with Bunnie about that. What was the comment that you made online, he noted. I literally have a picture of it, and it says something to the effect of, I need to show these people something about the red flags and warning signs. Well, he is a big old red flag, and he is a warning sign. Okay, just look at him. Just look at him. But anyway, however, the podcaster clarified what she meant, but stood her ground with her intents. I think what I said was, that's being taken out of context, she explained. They said, why did you interview Wade Wilson? And I said, because I think women need to see the red flags and the warning signs of somebody who's as charming as you. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. The incident comes months after the 44-year-old faced backlash in June for wanting to bring the inmate onto her podcast, which she has said she deeply regrets, and she has apologized many times for it. I feel bad for even having empathy for anybody other than the victims in this, she said during her recent episode. I always try to see every side of every story, but I didn't know this entire story, and I just shouldn't have said what I said without knowing all the facts. Well, at least she owned up to it, right? So Bunnie previously shared why she was interested in bringing him on, which ultimately sparked controversy. I am fascinated with his story, she explained on her now deleted TikTok in June. How cool would it be if I got to go into the jail and do a sit down with him and do a podcast? Now, afterwards, fans were quick to call her decision insensitive, prompting her to apologize for her words. I think anybody who has followed me for a very long time knows that my intentions were not to glorify somebody, she said in a follow-up TikTok. Being curious about why a killer is a effing whack job does not make me a bad person, because there are so many people who are interested in true crime, and murderers get interviews all the time. What makes me an asshole in being insensitive to the victim's family? Even though it wasn't intentional, it still would happen, she continued. For that, I do apologize. So she apologized for her actions and all that stuff. You know, the backlash that happened. She moved on from the backlash. So she did play the phone calls that she had with Wade on her podcast. And she also invited Diane Ruiz's kids on, which they will be on. Let's see, the second episode is supposed to drop Monday, if it hasn't already. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section if I'm correct, because I'm not too sure. All I know is episode 1 is out. See, I don't follow her, so I don't know all the updates. But if you want to follow her, she's on TikTok, and I think she's on Instagram as well. If you want to follow her, go ahead and follow her. But I just thought it was interesting that E! News posted this article. But I really do hope they post the article or the podcast that she has with Diane Ruiz's children, because they are the ones that's suffering from all of this. Their mother is gone, and so is Christine Melton's family. Christine, she was a daughter, she was a cousin. Her loved ones are missing her, just like Diane Ruiz's loved ones are missing her, So talk more about the victims. This whole thing with Wade Wilson is supposed to be about the victims. Yes, he was sentenced. He's on the row. And now it's like, it's not about the victims anymore. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a whole thing with these phone calls that are released. People are fighting over who got the factual information, who got this, who got that. It just turned into a goddamn shitstorm. And excuse me for saying so. But for saying it like that, I would say. And it's just really crazy. It's really insane. Things have gotten so out of control. And I noticed that with true crime has gotten so messy. It's just different now. It's not like how it was when people were first coming out with true crime and it was talking about the cases. Some content creators, it's all about, getting this stuff out there first, grabbing the trending topics, getting paid, all types of stuff. Even if they got to put out some dirty stuff about the victims, which I don't agree with at all. Some content creators will do anything to wheel in more subscribers and get their view count up. You know, I talk about true crime because I like talking about it. You get what I'm saying? I want to tell the story, and I want you guys to interact with me when I tell these stories. Just like when I talk about the news, I want to inform you what is going on out there, whether it's in New York, you know, Boston, Maine, Connecticut, wherever it is, you know, Florida, North Carolina. Crime is everywhere. So I do like talking about crime, you know. So I do it because I want to tell you what's going on if you didn't hear about it. And then we can have a conversation about it in the comment section. But, you know, things change as time goes on. But anyway, let me know in the comment section, how do you feel about this interview? And did you listen to her part 1 dumb podcast episode about Wade Wilson and her, when they had a conversation and stuff like that? Did you listen to it? And do you know anything about Wade Wilson? Because some people are not following his story at all. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But anyway, that's all I have to say about that. I will talk to you guys later.